Welcome back to
Hey,
the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, we got a big fight card coming up this weekend, one that I'm very excited about, and also put out a poll. I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago to see what the engagement is, to see what the level of excitement is relative to this fight. And we're going to talk about the main event on this card in this particular video because I don't know, man. Lamont Roach, he's gonna have to prove some things for me. I don't think the Gervonta
mm,
Davis fight was the reality of Lamont Roach. Maybe not. Maybe it was. We will see. But before we jump into this video, I would like to welcome those of you who are new to the channel. This is the Angry Man Podcast at M Sports Media, where we're always dropping boxing related content. So make sure that you become a subscriber. And for those of you who are regular patrons of the channel, smash that like button so other people can find this content because I feel, and Jason feels, that this is the best curated content out there for YouTube boxing. It's just my personal opinion. Maybe we're wrong, but I don't
maybe
think
we're a
so.
little biased. Oh well.
Huh. Now, man, this is a pretty good card, Jay. PBC is
Yeah.
doing a great job, and I really want to see PBC come back very strong in 2026. But I like the way that they're ending the year, although I didn't feel that they, had the strongest of years. Still feeling like they're transitioning with the whole
Mhm.
Amazon deal, but they got a number of top fights on there: Fulton versus Foster, Janabek versus Laura, Roach versus Pitbull, Martin versus Bartholomew. Um, Very interesting card that I'm going to be sitting firmly in my seat and watching. You know, Lamont Roach. I like Lamont Roach. I think he's a really good fighter. I think he gets a raw deal for losing to God, man, I'm having a brain fart today
Mel
with all
Herring.
fighters. Yeah, Jamel Herring. I'm just having a brain fart today. I don't know what it is. I cannot remember names. But
I
the
got
loss to Jamel Herring, a lot of people want to, you know, draw these comparison with how Shakur was able to beat Jamel Herring, and Jamel Herring ended up
you.
beating
Mhm.
Lamont Roach. But the Lamont Roach versus Jamel Herring fight was a long time ago, and there could have been extenuating circumstances associated with that particular fight. So who knows? Um, we were on record telling everybody that this fight with Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach was going to be a tough fight. Did we not say that?
Said it facts when it was made last year. It's supposed to be last year, last fall. We said it then
That's what I'm talking about.
and
It's
kept
a cake.
saying it.
It's a cakewalk. It's a cake. Cream puff. Cakewalk.
You guys
No.
don't know boxing.
Yeah, exactly. But in reality, the reason why I felt that that fight was going to always be close is because there's a level of familiarity between the two
Mhm.
fighters, and familiarity breeds confidence. It breeds comfort, and knowing what you're going to see, knowing what you're going to get because you've been in there with this gentleman, because you guys kind of came up that same rank and being within that same area of Baltimore, Virginia, DMV area. I knew that that was going to be a tough fight. Um,
Mhm.
and it ended up being a tough fight for Tank. Some people think Tank slightly edged it out. Some people think Lamont Roach won. It really just depends on the situation. Um,
Yeah.
But I always had doubts in my mind in terms of how good Lamont Roach is, just because it was more about styles and familiarity than it was about was he really that. Like, he's good, don't get me wrong, he's a skilled fighter. But I think fighting against Pitbull, look how good Rolly looked versus Tank until Tank caught him and knocked him out. Rolly looked really
Mm,
good. What? No, Rolly looked good.
yeah.
Let's not take anything away from Rolly. Rolly looked much better than what we thought he was going to look versus Gervonta Davis. He was pressuring Tank. He was catching Tank with a
Context.
couple of things. He was pressuring Tank. He caught Tank with a couple of stuff. He looked very impressive, similar to how he looked when he was facing Ryan Garcia, and then Tank just simply caught him, baited him in, caught him, knocked him out clean. Then he gets in the ring. He's moving forward against Tank, who we know is a puncher. Against Pitbull Cruz, he was on his bike, bruh. He was on his bike and ended up getting knocked out. Pitbull and that pressure style
Styles
can
may fight.
explode. Huh?
Styles may fight. To your point, pressure. Tank's
That's
not a
what
pressure
that's what
fighter like that.
that's what I'm saying. Styles make fights. So let's see what level he is at when it's a situation where it's not a familiar opponent and now you got this different
Mhm.
style. Let's see what you look like now. He could get exposed theoretically if he cannot handle that pressure, similar to what we saw against Roland. There, you put Roland, drop him in there with Ryan, and he looks good. because it's a different style.
Right.
Hey
Yeah.
man, you a hater. What is your thoughts?
Hey,
This is why we call that's why the show called the Angry Man Podcast.
it is what it is.
So what's your thoughts on that?
I like the matchup. The style is very intriguing because
Mm-hmm.
Mont can box. He can also fight in the pocket. He was fighting in the pocket with Tank a lot. And to your point, they're very familiar with one another. They fought twice in the amateurs. If I'm not mistaken, they said both of them were really close. They thought one of them Tank got a little lucky on as well. In the fight they had it back in March, close fight. Up until round 9 when we know Tank took the knee or whatnot. I really can't go beyond that because it depends on how the referee handles it, can change the trajectory of that fight. Tank may get more reckless, or he may catch him out, or he may get caught himself. You don't know. 3 rounds still to go in that fight there. But Lamont did a good job in that fight, and he's very confident. I met his pops back in pro bouts before they fought up Tank, and pops was real cool, laid back, and Lamont was there, and they showed no angst. They just looked real calm and everything, and I like that part about him. On there, Pitbull is gonna come forward. We know he's gonna come forward. Oh, that's all he can do. He's not a boxer like that, so it's gonna be interesting. It could be, to your point, he could try to expose Lamont to see how Lamont fights someone that's coming at him all the time like that and throwing those overhand rights, overhand lefts, or Lamont can just be back and pick him apart as well, use his boxing IQ. So that's going to be key on how that fight goes. But I like the matchup. I like the fact Lamont's not waiting. Lamont's fighting on someone that a lot of people haven't fought before. To your point, his style took out Roller. His style got exposed against Rayo, who pretty much handled Pitbull the full 12 rounds for the most part. So I think Lamont can do what Rayo did. I don't know if he has the power like Rayo has, because Rayo does have some pop. I think he has more pop than Lamont does, but I think Lamont can handle this. I don't think Lamont's going to explode. I think this is Lamont's chance to have a coming out party part 2.
We'll see. I like Lamont. I think that's an interesting point that you made in terms of Rayo. Again, styles make fights, and that's the thing, man. I think that's the thing that fight fans forget is that styles really do make fights. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see what Lamont Roach looks like. He still says he has business left at 135 pounds. I'm assuming he's talking about Gervonta Davis. The question is, does Gervonta
I think
Davis
he's talking
still
about her.
have? The question is, does Gervonta Davis still have business with him? Tank might be out of there. So you guys let us know what you think in the comment section in regards to this fight. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast on Sports Media, and we are out.